Welcome back to another episode of Related Conversations, the group chat on steroids. I'm your girl, Melanie. We got me and Murray here, and we here with Sincere.
Yo.
And today we are talking about gender roles.
Mm, mm, mm.
So let's start with this. What does a model household look like to you?
Let's start with you.
Mm.
To me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It
Let's
has,
let's
I
switch it up a
mean,
little.
all right, calm down. Everybody want to take sips and shit. I could take a sip. I got a glass straw. Um, uh, in my opinion, model household, husband, wife, the child, because I don't believe in multiple children for myself, the child. Um, and it's full of consideration. Like, it's like the husband, yeah, he works. We're in 2024, the wife works too, right? So he got a day off on Wednesdays. The wife comes home to cook dinner. He had a crazy day at work on Friday. He come home to a quiet house. I feel like as far as the bills and whatnot, that's shared based on income, not 50-50 per se, especially because things are not usually divvied up 50-50. If he makes a lot more money than she does, I'm not paying half the rent because that's stupid. I'm not paying half the mortgage. If you making double what I'm making, I'm contributing in other places. But it's all about consideration. Simple. Ain't nothing crazy there.
Where's the is there specific like gender roles? Like what he could do and what he should do and what you shouldn't do because he should do it type shit?
You know what? Unpopular opinion. Yeah, I believe in gender roles. Not all gender roles, because some of that shit don't make no sense, but I do because I believe in like a masculine energy and a feminine energy, right? So like when it comes to just like basic shit, like I'll say like the garbage. I'm not taking out the trash. That's a man's job, right? And that could be debatable, but I truly believe that. When I stop living with my guy and it's just me and my son in here, he takes out the garbage because you might be a little boy, but one day you can grow up to be a man. This is your responsibility. You understand what I'm saying? But when I think of gender roles, I don't think of like who's cooking and cleaning and whatnot necessarily. It's like you're handling the masculine shit that I don't. The things, because I believe that men and women are equal in a sense that we are complementary to each other. They're masculine, right? You guys are providing a sort of, you're supposed to like provide the money, you're providing the things that you're going to mow the lawn, you're taking out the grass, you're handling the protection of the family, those sorts of things. The woman is a more nurturing person. So as far as that type of gender role, I'm most likely doing most of the child nurturing and rearing because that's what comes natural to me. So regardless of what you want to do, I'm always going to do more by nature, right? And then that also means when you go into a house, the idea of making a house a home, I believe that's a very thing. Men, I'm not saying they don't make houses homes, but it's a whole entirely different feel, especially when it comes to the dynamic of a family. Because women, we tend to be socialized and raised to make the home happy, and men are not taught to encompass that isn't within themselves.
Uh,
Oh, it's
uh,
fine.
I mean, so I got a couple questions. First, starting from top to bottom. Um, is the trash thing specifically you type of thing? And the reason I'm asking is because you brought up cooking and cleaning, where my opinion is that trash would fall under the cleaning aspect of keeping the house clean. So is that a I'm not taking out trash? That's a man thing. Is that a you thing, or is that
Well,
a
everything I said is a me thing.
huh?
Everything I said is a me thing. When I think of gender roles, I don't think all women is going to conform to my thoughts. It's just my thing when it comes to this. So, like, if I'm cleaning the kitchen, I'm gonna take the garbage out of the can. You're gonna take it outside.
Right, but the original question was what like gender roles for you. So
That's
excuse me. Well, let me rephrase. It was gender roles, but you spoke from your perspective, which is great. I'm just talking about that particular piece. Is that a Melly thing? Is it compromisable? Is Melly willing to take out the damn trash? Or is that a
No,
nigga come take out this
unless
trash?
I absolutely have to because someone isn't there. What are you here for if I have to do the things that I have to do when you're not here? That's
Damn.
the way I look at
But
them.
damn over the trash.
It's in the package. It's in the package. Like I can't be over here making allowances and compromises in every fucking stage, right? When you live with somebody, when you love with somebody, and you build life with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
what you are deciding is I am always going to consider this other person. That means that you are consistently compromising on all things most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
We have come up with our compromise. Part of this compromise is you're doing the garbage because that's a non-negotiable, right? So now if I have to compromise on something we already compromised on, I'm not even like I'm not the balance is not in it's not in balance.
So
The scales are not in balance.
I got you. So second thing is actually gets overtaken. Because first of all, let me apologize because we just dove down my throat. I think we misunderstood. I actually agree with everything you said. Believe it or not, from like literally from gender roles all the way down. And the reason I agree is because I was brought up in a nurturing home, not nurturing. You see what I'm saying? Like raised by my grandmother, raised by my mother, my aunts, my female cousins. Like that was big. It was real big. So that's the reason I am the way I am in my household. The cooking, the cleaning. I ain't no trash, but take out the damn trash. But the cooking, the cleaning, things like that. And then when you incorporate a situation with another half, then like you said, those conversations are talked about. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it comes with the package. But shit, PSA, read the damn fine print. That's those little itty bitty 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 words at the very bottom. You don't read that shit? I don't know. Shit get different. Everybody gotta read the fine print. Because there may be things that may be considered to everybody's personal opinion about what gender role is supposed to look like or what a household is supposed to look like, as opposed to what a generalization is. You know what I'm saying? Then it becomes comparison in a relationship. Like I said, I agree with you. And it's also the first time I've ever heard it put not
Yo, bro,
50-50.
niggas funny.
No, listen. Look, I'm getting my shit out the way. Whether it's not pronounced 50-50, but the way it's split based on finances. I think that's a very different way to put it. And I think it's more accurate.
Man, what does a household look like to you?
With that, I digress.
You always digress.
Yeah. I'm gonna use Anthony words and say everything come full circle. Because I want to go back to the word unconditional when we were talking about love and romance. All right. When we said that word, you got to be careful with that word unconditional. So I just want to point out the word gender. Put that in bold letters. The gender roles I don't believe in. I don't agree with when it comes to gender. Like you should do this. I do this. As far as gender, but like
Mhm.
having roles, I feel like it's the same with. I agree with Melanie with the finances. If you know what I mean, making 2 times more than me, I shouldn't have to pay half the rent. Like we both could fucking cook if we get off work, but if you cook better than me, let's agree on. No, I'm just saying, like if your food is
Now
better
you
than
right,
mine,
yeah, you're right.
no, I'm saying like it's just like with the money. Like if your food's better than mine, let's just agree on you cook and I do the dishes because you cook better than me.
But that's you see, this is the reason why I think a lot of people have issues when it comes to that sort of thing because it's like I cook better than you, sure, I get that. So I'm probably gonna do the cooking, right? But that also it's again, it's not in balance. I'm doing all the cooking, and there are days I don't feel like cooking. And sometimes I want a home cooked meal, and I can never get that from you. I have to seek other options to fulfill this need because you can't slash won't.
No,
But
I ain't saying you would never get it. If you don't feel like cooking, I can cook. But as far as like it's just like basically like if I get sick from work and I made 2 times more than you and I ain't getting the same pay I was because I wasn't working, like you could do this part and I do this part because my money funny at that moment in time. So like I still could cook for you when you don't feel like cooking, but most of the time you probably gonna cook because you cook better than me. Like most of the time I'm probably gonna take care of most of the bills because I make more money than you.
See, so the thing with that is too is like, oh, you're gonna do it because I don't feel like it. But what about just doing it, right? It's like if I'm gonna get up to make you a meal or something, it's because I want you to be fed. I'm not going to make a meal because you don't feel like feeding us, so now I have to. And the way that things are presented also matters. And I'm just saying, I think that's the reason why some people have issue with gender roles. So now I want to go back to the whole thing, but like the bills and whatnot. So if you do have a woman who makes more money than you, how do you guys as men feel like you're supposed to be providers, the financial providers or the head of the household?
Hell no.
You don't feel like you need to be the head of your household as a man, like she can run the shit and you could just be there?
Not run it, but if she make more money than me, like a lot more money than me, then she's probably gonna, you know what I mean? Like you just said you would do on the opposite end if he did. Like she's probably gonna take care of a higher proportion.
Okay, so now with
I'm
that,
not gonna say she's gonna run the household though, because she make more money than me.
but
She's
that's
not
what
gonna
I'm
run the
asking
household.
you, right? Because, like, we're talking about gender roles. So, technically, the way that was traditionally set up is the man makes the money, the woman nurtures the home. So, with you, the man making the money, he's the head of the household. He's the one that makes the big decisions. Everything is coming from his pocket. He is the head running it. And the woman is the support for that. She's helping to raise the kids. She's enhancing everything that he's doing. So now if she's the one making the money, which means the financial decisions and all that, she's got the big chicken, right? If she's doing that, why is she not getting this traditional role of being the head of the household if she's making most of the money? I'm
Well,
asking you because you said I'm asking.
I feel like it's because the tradition is not the same. It was for like if the man was out working and she was taking care of the house, that's all she was fucking doing. If you working and I'm working, you just happen to make more than me. You both
Okay.
fucking working.
So now she makes more money than you and she's handling most of the bills. She's also a better cook than you. So she's doing most of the cooking. Is that the way that would work? Or would there be an adjustment because of either of those
Hold on.
components?
The cooking is upon us. If you feel like you cook better or my food is better, if my food is better, you want me to cook all the time, I would. That's upon what we agree on. Just like with the bills too. Like if you make way more than me and you be like, all right, I'm gonna just take care of this. You could take care of the small bills like the cable, the phone bills, gas, and this, and I'm gonna take care of the rent.
So I'm supposed to work the big girl job, make the big girl money, take care of the big bills, and because I'm the better cook, cook 85% of our
You
meals.
don't have to be. Listen. You keep saying because you don't. All this don't have to happen at once.
The point is this the scenario I'm giving you is this is it, right?
That's
You
just
and this
no. The
girl.
scenario. Hold on, hold on. The scenario you giving is putting all the scenarios on her. I'm saying if I'm the better cook, let's say we gonna mix it up. If I'm the better cook and she make more money, then she's gonna get that proportion. I'm gonna be cooking all the time.
Yeah, that's an
If
equal
I make
split.
more, yeah, we're gonna balance whatever works for us. We're gonna
So
balance
how do
whatever
you
works for us.
balance it? What I'm asking is how do you balance it if she makes more money and she's the better cook and you guys have a kid and that nature, that biology, that innate love and care, like all of
Then
this
you
is
have to
let's say this is the scenario. How do you balance it when she's excelling in all these areas where it's kind of already out of balance?
then you have to do like basically all the other shits. Wash the clothes, fold the clothes, wash the dishes, clean the kitchen, clean the bathroom. We gotta do all the extra shit that don't requires cooking and motherfucking paying the bills. If she
And
if
you
she got those two covered.
and your masculinity doesn't feel threatened or anything like that.
Nah, because I don't feel like when you say that, that makes me think about the gender. I don't believe in that. I feel like whatever works for us, that's gonna make us be a better team. If it was me, if it was her doing good at it, then she would have that part. But it just happened to be on the other end.
Sincere, you want to get in on this?
Oh, if anything, I just gotta apologize because my wording in the very beginning of this was all wrong. So it's not the fact that I just agree with you, Mel, on like gender roles, but I do believe in a hierarchy in the household. Now, the hierarchy is about financial stability, regardless of who. I'm not gonna say regardless. In placement of who makes the most money and who's going to be able to make decisions in a household. So if the female's making the most money, right? She's financially becoming the majority of support, of bills taken care of whatever needs to be done in the house financially. Now, again, it's a conversation with me still being the man. Am I dictating what gets paid and this needs to be done and this, that, and the third? Or is it, again, the hierarchy where the man is immediately at the top and the head of the household? For me, that also depends on your definition of head of household. It doesn't have to be a gender role. Your head of the household is the person who's financially responsible for the household, male or female. So I definitely think now that as this conversation went on, I definitely misspoke in the beginning. And it's not that I believe in gender roles, it's that I believe in roles of the household because roles can always be reversed. If Shorty ended up losing his high paying job and now I'm the one making the most money,
Mhm.
then now the energy is going to shift. Now we need to start thinking about who's taking over responsibilities, now where responsibilities are going to be at, and things like that.
So let me ask the both of you because I'm curious. When you think of your woman, having a woman, this is your woman, right?
Mhm.
Outside of the way that she looks in sex, what is it that you want from her to incorporate her into your life?
Motivation.
You want her to motivate you?
I want to be better. I want her to make me want to be better. Not with her like telling me it, just how I feel about her is gonna make me want to be better for me, just to be better for her.
So you want a woman so that you can be better.
Huh?
You want a woman so that you can be a better man.
Outside of the other shit you just said.
So
I
all
want a,
she needs to
I want a
provide to
woman, but I
you.
want a
Mad,
woman for
mad
the. I want a
specific.
woman like I want my woman to look good and all that shit. Blah blah blah. But overall, I want her so bad that she makes me want to be better, so I could be better for her and me.
But what attributes does a woman that you want so bad, what attributes does she have that makes you want her so bad? That's what I'm
Her
kind of curious.
mindset, her ambition, like the way she live. I mean, the way she carry herself. Overall, her mindset, like the way she moves, the way she think, makes me want to. You know what I mean? Like,
And the
yeah.
only thing she needs to provide to you is to just be a good woman in your eyes to make you want to do better. She don't need to give you anything. She don't need to provide you with nothing. So she could just not cook, not work, not be, willing to have kids. She just as long as she
I
is.
mean, that's gonna be a good woman. I mean, I ain't you saying not have kids all that stuff. She can still be a good woman.
I'm not saying she's not a good woman. I'm just saying like a lot of the time when people look for a life partner, they're looking for
Mhm.
somebody they can build a family with. They're looking for somebody, that can provide them with certain things. And for you, it sounds like they don't need to have anything except a good mindset. And you want to like that enough to make you want to be better and, to motivate you. That's what I'm trying to.
I mean,
A
yeah.
good mindset ain't shit without action.
You want to put it like that?
Hmm?
I say yeah. If you want to put it like that, yeah.
Okay. What about you, Sincere? What does your woman provide
Um,
to you?
The
I
fuck?
don't know what to say to that because I think that's very bare. Like
I
you have a
mean,
very low standard for someone that you plan to spend your life with. That's a little crazy.
Oh,
uh,
okay.
for me, it is support, companionship, and compromising. Um, the companionship, like we have to be friends. We have to be able to talk to each other. We have to be able to communicate. Um, Me being able to cook, if you can cook for me, that's just a turn on. I am family oriented, so that is something I definitely enjoy being around, experiencing. Um, be supportive, not downplaying. In other words, support me with, and I gotta put this on, support me with respect in public. But in private, if I'm fucking up, tell me I'm fucking up.
Why you got that face on, man?
Look, I'm just saying, like, support me with respect in public. If I'm fucking up in private, you know what I'm saying? Tell me I'm fucking up.
Okay, let me switch gears. What do y'all think people's issue is with gender roles? Like, why do you think people are moving away from wanting to conform to them, or they demonize them?
Personal feelings. Niggas feel like certain people should do certain shit in the house.
I think it's more than that. Hmm?
I feel like people think everybody boat supposed to rock the same. Like it's different fucking strokes for different folks. Like just because that shit worked for everybody else, don't mean it's gonna work for y'all.
Exactly.
And I feel
Exactly.
like this, they think like everybody shit supposed to be like that. Like nigga, you supposed to be doing this and
Mm-hmm.
this and that. Like no, let's do what works for us.
Right. Expectations.
Let's do what works for us. Fuck all that. What's supposed to be done. If this works better for us, let's do it this way.
I think it's a more of a question of value. I think this is what happened, right? Like I said in my previous statement, like men were meant to be providers, like the head of the household, and women were meant to kind of enhance that because men and women are complementary to each other. I think women have been demeaned in their role as nurturers and child rearers, and it's stay at home moms, for example. They don't get it. Well, you don't work, and it's like we go immediately to defending all the things that it takes to run a household, which is completely, just devalued at all times. And I think because of that, even women, like, with the whole feminist movement, I think women have started to devalue the things that we naturally bring as well, which is why we shoot for shit like equality nowadays and completely skew what equality is. I can do this for men, can do it, like that's not the way it's supposed to be. Men and women are different for a reason. But because of that demeaning view on what a woman does in a gender role type of situation, it's like we can't embrace that anymore because now we're going to be fair to be seen as less than, or we're going to be scared to be seen as lazy or incompetent or just a trophy or an object when it comes to men. I think that's why there's an issue with that. Like for me, I don't mind gender roles because I have no question about like who I am and the kind of woman that I am. I'm very self-sufficient. You know what I mean? If I was to align myself with a man, I'm very much a great asset to you. And I want a man that's a great asset to me. So me conforming to gender roles, not all, but some of them, it doesn't make me feel like less of a person because I can do it all. And I do it all. Right now, I'm a single woman. I do it all and it's handled. I don't need a man. But if a man was to come into my life, he absolutely has to make things simpler for me. I don't want to have to sit there if I needed to get my car fixed last week, right? $700 fucking dollars, but I had to find a garage. That is, I'm putting that onto my guy. I'm putting that onto you. The leaves needed to get raked in the backyard. I got to do that. I would put that onto him. There's just certain things that you need to bring to me that's not just about cooking and cleaning for me to add you to my life, because why else are you here when I could do this without you? That's just my view on it.
I can't really argue you down. Man, what you got?
I I agree, but I feel like I feel like it's the same shit. Like it's the same shit on both ends. Like if he might feel like you fucking he might need to come to you about some cooking and you might feel like well I gotta cook all the time. But if you gonna come to him about your car, even though you can been doing it by yourself without a man,
That's a
he might
false
feel like
equivalency.
but what if he feel like well I gotta take the car all the time? Just like that how
Well,
you feel
right.
like why you gotta cook all the time.
See, but that's not even a fit. The reason why it's a false equivalency is because of this, right? We're gonna eat every day. A fucking guarantee. We're gonna eat at least one meal, if not three, every fucking day. That car, I've had my car for 2 years. It's the first time I had to bring it to do anything. And it took 4 hours. You trying to tell me 3 meals per day, 7 days a week for 2 years is equal to 4 hours of a vehicle fix? That's not an equal, that's not an equal equivalency. You can't look at it that way. Like, you wouldn't, you would balance that way. That's the problem. I think this is the reason why people have such issues with certain shit. It's like, not only should you want to do certain shit when it comes to your woman, but it's like you can't compare shit like that. Now, if you say, well, you cooking every day, but you are cleaning the bathroom every day, all right, then we can probably talk if there's some issues there, because that's more of an equal type of labor. This is not.
For me, this is why I do the devil's advocate thing, because
Don't
listen,
repeat.
right? You saying don't, but you know what it is, and for me, each side has great points. It does, it has great points. So my opinion falls in the sense of the halfway mark. Do I believe in roles in a household? Yes. Do they have to be gender specific? No. Do I believe the roles can be reversed? Yes. Do I believe if the woman makes more money and the guy should now be the homemaker, but still incorporate, and not being funny, the trash, the leaves, you know what I'm saying, cars like that. But now financially, is she gonna take care of it? Is she gonna pay for it? You know what I'm saying? I think everything has now a little piece, because if I can't pay for it, but I've taken care of 90% of the arrangements. I've made the appointment. I can take your car. I can pick your car up, or I can do the work myself. You see what I'm saying? And like I think that the roles should definitely be in the household. I mean, do they have to be gender specific? No.
Okay, so since y'all have such equal views on the way that you would split your household, and you've both lived with women before, is there any areas where you feel like as a man you should lead because
Yes.
of you being a man or a father, a masculine energy? Where? Where?
Man, you want to go first, or because like we
You
both got
said yes.
kids? Oh, so yeah. I mean, well, okay. Let's see where a man should lead. Uh, do 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 do. Reprimand when it comes to children.
The men should lead and reprimand.
Yes, because
So
I'm
not
so,
in nurturing, but in the reprimanding.
no, because sometimes nurturing involves too much of a conversation that doesn't need to be had. I'm being honest with you. There's nothing wrong. Listen, there's nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong. Listen, there is nothing wrong with having a conversation on why it's happening. It's another thing to try and talk something down without it without it being a consequence. Like every action has a natural consequence, right or wrong.
I'm not answering this. I just want you to continue. I'm not
I
feeding into none of this shit that
it's,
you're saying. I'm just listening.
so you can't answer a question.
No, not right now. Please continue your explanation because I would like to respond to you, but I want to hear what you have to say so I can know what I'm responding to.
Oh, okay. I mean, again, it becomes. I think that's one of the aspects. I think it should be a conversation, but I think overall, like that should be the man should be able to, for lack of a better phrase, lay the law down. But again, I think it should be a conversation, though. I know. I think it should be a conversation.
I would
That's
like
just
to
that's
ask
just that's just one area. Go ahead.
my question to you based on what you said first and foremost, just so I can make sure I have an understanding here.
Hmm.
The mom or the situation happened,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And it requires some type of discipline.
Hmm.
And the mother is like, you're at work. We decided John is wrong, and this needs a tough hand. But the dad should dole that out for whatever that means.
The dad should
Is
do
that
what?
should be the one that's leading that in the reprimand? Like, we decided John is in trouble, and now this is where you step in. Is that what you're saying?
You call me to let me know that John showed his ass. Me and you have a conversation. I say what we should do. You deliver the message. Is that not me still leading?
Is that what you're saying? So you said like so now you laying down.
What I said is what I'm saying. What I said is what I'm saying. I'm not
So
saying that you have to wait and not reprimand at all and not tell me.
not saying that's not my question. My question is, but you, this is where you step in. After that, or that scenario happened, this is where you step in, right? That's what you're saying, right? So, okay,
Sure,
that's insane.
sure.
That's insane. Let me
If
tell
that's
you why.
what you're hearing, okay.
Anyway, let me tell you why that's insane. Because this is the thing, right? Like, You said there are places where a conversation could happen, and there are times when the law need to be laid down. If where you're leading is not in, when it comes to the kids, especially in this moment, is in the reprimanding specifically, primarily, where there's a spotlight on it. This is the issue, and I'm going to say this because I had this issue the other day in real life. My child was here on Sunday, and his dad came to get him, and something happened in his bedroom, and some words was said that was a little too harsh from his dad to my son. And I'm just like, whoa, like, and I try not to step in because I know, like, sometimes women can demean the man's authority when it comes to the kids. So I never do that. However, this was a special exception because don't ever say these fucking words to my kid, right? So we kind of got into it, and not to get into the details of it, but the reason why that was a problem for me is because he does lead in, like, reprimanding, but you don't lead in the other areas. Like, if I reprimand my son, I feel like it's more palatable because I'm not only reprimanding you. I'm giving you love. I'm giving you nurture. I'm hearing moments of education. All of these places, I show up in the exact same percentage that I do in this reprimand. So if I'm reprimanding you or disciplining you, and that's all I'm doing, more 60, 70, 80% of the time, you can't do that because I feel like you haven't done enough work to there. So you don't get to lead in that. I feel like when it comes to any type of role, you don't get to lead in there because now you're looked at more as a disciplinarian than a parent. And my child is not going to have a relationship that's based on fear with his dad because this is the only place where he feel like he needs to shine and be a shining star.
So the only thing I'm going to argue that down about is the contents of the situation. The situation and conversation is not the same. With you using your scenario that happened with your family a couple days ago, the difference is you're no longer together. The
So,
time the time is split, and then you say that you're giving 80% of love, you're giving 80% affection, you're giving 80%, you're giving the majority of this. The original scenario was set in a 50-50 household.
okay, we had a 50-50 household, and the reason why I have this assessment is because that was, so let's say
Right, you
this
say
is
you
2 years.
had.
Listen, let's say that was 2 years ago, right? When we was living together in this 50-50 household. It was the same dynamic. That's my point. We don't need to nitpick into now and then because it was the same dynamic. So in that dynamic, do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand and agree on two different things. But yes, I understand what you're saying.
I cannot stand you. FYI.
That's because the same way you say you don't feed this, I can't feed into that. I can't. I
But
agree that
it's like
everything
you don't answer things. Like,
because
what do you
no,
do?
because there's nothing to answer. You are stating it from your opinion as you should because you're the one answering. But the thing is that in your world, that's how it happens with Melanie. But it may not be the majority. It may not be the consensus of the world. It may not be the consensus of Albany. So at some point, you can't say that somebody's opinion of a situation or their views on it is either right or wrong because their opinion. It's their life experiences. It's their situation. It's how they see the situation.
Man,
That
how do you feel about that? Do you feel like you'd want to show up as the bottom line to reprimand them when it comes to your kids, or do you have a different view? Wake the fuck up.
I mean, because y'all went on to a different question, but yeah, I feel like, yeah, the man should show up like that. The father should show up like that. And the mother should shut up when the father show up like that.
The mother should shut up when the father's why? What?
all right. So that aspect, he doesn't speak for both of us. Let me make this clear. Let me make this clear. Ah,
What the fuck you mean the mother should shut up when the dad, like, what do you mean?
When something go wrong with the child, they did something wrong, and the father comes in as the bad cop. Shut up. Shut up. Just like you said, like I have that nurturing automatic, you know what I mean, nature to y'all, whatever, female, whatever. Yeah. Let him go cry in your arms. But he fucked up. I'm gonna discipline him and I'm gonna do it this way. And you can't say, don't talk to my child like that because We got a balance here. I come as bad cop, you come as good cop.
So if
Because
you
once you say, hold on, I let you go. Once you do that, don't talk to my child like that, then he's gonna always run to you as far as the like, you know what I mean? Like, get me out of this situation kind of thing. Like a
Saving grace.
yeah. So basically like we make it feel like, nigga, if you do this again, you're gonna get in trouble. You make it seem like you really not in trouble. You only I'm like, I really don't like how your father handled that, but I'm gonna talk to you about it this way and this way and this way. You know what I mean? But I don't feel like with a boy, just like you said, one day you're gonna grow up to be a man. I don't feel like with a boy, the mother should dictate how the father play back up.
it's crazy as fuck that you say that after y'all and you as well just sat here talking about how there are no gender roles and everybody should just do everything, but then you can separate how a boy should be raised compared
That's
to a girl. That
that.
it's so hypocritical.
But that's when I say gender roles, I'm talking about as a relationship. I
Gender
ain't talking
roles is
about.
whatever you think applies to a woman or a man or a boy or a girl. It's what you think is specific to that gender, regardless whether it's your man, your
Uh-uh.
woman, your mother, your child. That's what a gender role is.
It's definitely is definitely a gender role. Then when it comes to raising kids,
How can you have kids that you're raising based on gender roles while you're leading a household that doesn't follow them? How does that work?
what you mean? Say that
You
again.
said in your household, it's not about a gender role. Woman, the mom, the woman, the mom, excuse me, the lady doesn't have to do anything. The man doesn't have to do anything. They figure out what works for them, but you want your kids to grow up based on these
As
certain.
far when I say that, I'm talking about as far as just the household and the relationship. When it comes to the kids, I want you to be like, you better not let your father know you did that. Say some shit like that because your father gonna yell at you. Like we gotta have a balance here. Like you can't not always, you know what I mean? Now I ain't saying like we both yelling at him or we both playing bad cop. We gotta have a balance here with the kids because if somebody say I'm gonna tell your mother, blah blah blah, you was outside doing something. The kid might not really. They might feel like, my mother gonna be fine. But they be like, I'm gonna tell your father. You know, you don't want your father to come here. You don't want your father to come to this school. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it is not that you're a bad guy, but you just know you the bad cop. Mommy is the good cop.
No, I get what you're saying, but it's weird because you want to exert yourself in your kids' eyes as this masculine final boss energy, like, oh shit, mommy's here, but daddy, I ain't gonna fucking play with daddy,
Uh,
while not want to exert, not trying to exert yourself as that in your household. Your kids are going to see what you got going on. So if they see you and mommy on the same level, because according to you, you're in this equal household where everybody's cooking, everybody's cleaning, everybody's paying, everybody's working, but your kid's supposed to see you as kind of like a cut above in the disciplinarian space. How does that make sense or work for you? Like, that doesn't make sense.
it makes sense because mommy can also discipline, but mommy can't stop daddy. Mommy can't say, don't talk to my child like that. Mommy can't do that to the kid in front of the kid. That's why it makes sense because there's no balance there. It's balance in the household when we both got a agreement on how we gonna do this partnership and this relationship. But if we ain't got no agreement on no balance on how we gonna raise the kid, then there's no balance there. If I'm disciplining him and you stopping me, there's no balance. You saying like, nah, don't do that. There's no balance. But we got a balance on other shit we doing around the house, like and with the bills and everything else. But when
But so
fucking
with the kids, if she's doing more with the kids, whether it be because you work at hours where, by the time you get home from work, they're asleep or whatever, or she just naturally do more with the kids, but you still want to be like the final stage of discipline.
But yeah, because yeah, that's what's going to end up happening. If mom says something, right, then it's dad's job to reinforce what mom says. But at the end of the day, dad got final say so. The kid's gonna look at mom gonna say what she gonna say. Kid gonna be like, all right, yeah, I do it. Yo, what did your mother say? That
hmm
reinforcement. I'm
you heard what
again,
your mother said,
yeah, you heard what your
do
mother
what your
said.
mother said.
Well, Dad, Mom said I could da 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 da. Well, what did your mother
Mm-hmm.
say? I couldn't go. Then you can't go.
Right.
It's not
Mm-hmm.
so much that we're overtaking and we're not allowing women to play that role. But when it comes to final say so, that should rest in the man's hands. But
So
always
you
there's
want to be the head of household.
say
That's
what?
the head of household type. I make the final decision. Because if you wasn't head of household, that's something it would be a 50-50 thing the way everything else according to y'all's households go. Like in the household that I would have, I understand that because I believe the man is the head and the woman is going to be what controls the fucking neck, right? That's what my household would look like because I want a man that I can absolutely not run over. If I can fucking run over you, we can't date because and I'm that kind of woman, right? But in y'all household, based on what y'all was saying, everything is 50-50. She do this, I do this, yin yang, hand in hand, except for this. You want to be head of household. So now let's move away from the kids thing because this isn't necessarily about a kids thing. But the question is like, you seem like you want to be head of household, but you also want the benefits of having a partner do the same type of like level of things that you would do, but you want to kind of be looked at as the final entity. Like I think I might conform like gender roles a bit more than you actually realize.
Nah, because you saying what we, well, I know you saying what I'm not saying. I'm not saying 50-50. That shit could be 75-25. That shit could be 80-20.
I think for me 50-50 is balance. That, that's
It
and,
is
and, and,
balance,
and that's
but
why and that's why I said my wording was wrong
when
in the
I say
beginning.
balance, it's whatever work for us.
Right.
If I can control 80 and you good at the other 20, that's what work for us. That's what I'm saying.
And that's why I said
So
that's why I said at the beginning my it was listen, my wording was all over the place.
so if
It's
she
about
can if
balance.
she contributes 80 and you do 20, and what places do you get to lead? Because as a man, are you going to be the one allowing your woman to make all the decisions, make all the plans? We're doing what she want to do because she said it in every area, or is there places you want to lead?
It's just like what he said. She can control 80. What's gonna happen when something go wrong and she can't control the 80 no more? I'm gonna be able to pick up the 80 and she can cover the 20.
If
I'm going off of your scenario.
all right, let's so now
I'm
okay.
going
So
off the scenario.
I mean, I
I'm
hear you. Let's talk about money specifically because it seems like when we think about gender roles, immediately we went to money, right? In some form of fashion, a lot, right? If you met a woman and she didn't want to pay bills, would you deal with her, or is that not going to be able to have a balance in your household?
No, because it's just like what you said earlier. Like this is just shit you've been doing by yourself. What do I need you for?
Right.
Just like what you said earlier. If she like the fuck I need you for if I gotta pay your bills too, but I've been paying my own bills by myself. What are you here for? The fuck? Like I'm what am I doing? I adopted you?
So you want a woman to help you pay your bills
No, but
because
you're
they bring
gonna
other things.
no. You better have motherfucking had your own bills. I better have my own bills, and we better motherfucking come together and get our own shit together. You're not gonna
So,
come here and I'm gonna be paying or I'm gonna be paying all the bills like you're a new kid or something and you just living free.
but
Like
part of the balance. So now part of the balance, right? I don't have no money. I'm not making any money, but I can contribute in other ways. You know what I mean? Like you going to work, you paying all the bills, but I'm keeping the house. You come home, your house clean, laundry done, dinner is done. That's not good for you. You need her to contribute financially. This
so no. So now the scenario she don't have money.
that was what I said. I said
Okay,
she doesn't
so
want.
like all right, so no, because this is not a person that's gonna make me want to go harder for her. Her mindset is already fucked up. Like now you just like I don't even like you. Like
So
I
now
just
she has money, but she don't want to pay
I gotta
bills.
do everything for you. Like
So wait,
I
now
don't even
she
like
has
you.
money, but she don't want to pay bills, but she's gonna do the other stuff. That doesn't balance out to you.
She ain't for me. She got money, she got money, but she want me to take care of all her bills. What am I getting out of this
No,
game?
you're taking care of the bills for y'all's household, and now
How they
she's
be getting
making.
this y'all? How they be getting this y'all though?
It's a hypothetical situation. Go
Oh,
with the
okay.
fucking flow, nigga. Like you all fucking
What
personal
the
hypothetical.
fuck?
Jesus Christ. You done met.
Yeah, because I'm saying like nigga, in order for us to get to this yard, nigga, we gonna know. Like I ain't paying for all this shit by myself. Like
But this is what I'm
so
saying, right? So now you done
yeah.
met this person and that's your woman. Y'all living together and shit. And she don't want to pay bills. Yeah, she work, you know what I mean? But you take care of the bills and she take care of the other stuff. You know, that's not a 50-50 compromise for you.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as you know what I mean, you doing something. I'm not if that's the case, I might as well let my daughter move in. Like if I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be taking care of everything. Like the fuck out of here. No. What is the point of you being in my life? I was doing all this without you. Now you're here and I'm still doing all this and you here. It's like the same thing. You want the same thing? I want the same thing. I want balance. Life is a motherfucking bitch. All
So
right? Let's fight it together. Let's
when I
fight it
asked you
together.
what a woman needs to provide to you, you didn't say none of that. You just said her mindset.
No, she ain't gotta provide for me. We
I
gotta
didn't say I don't mean provide with just money, but like, would you date a woman who don't cook, don't like, just don't do certain things that you like for your woman to do? Like, this is what I'm saying when I say provide to you the comforts that she comes with. Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like some like you know what I mean. You know, I feel like some shit is just like don't need to be said.
No, it
Yo,
do. Literally, we're having a conversation on it. What do you mean it don't need to be said?
I mean, like I ain't gonna wanna like I'm not dating somebody like that. You know what I mean? I'm not liking you if you doing the shit if you don't do the shit that I like.
What do you like? Talking to y'all is so hard.
listen, for me, I keep it short and simple. For me,
No, you don't.
yeah, I
No,
know.
you do not.
First time for everything. Watch your mouth. Um, for me, everything is situational. I think I said this in the first episode, but I was actually guessing. Everything is situational. You know what I'm saying? Everything situation you go into has to have a conversation, what's on the table, who got what we're doing, and how that's going to be split. You know what I'm saying? Because 80-20 in somebody's eyes or 70-30 in somebody's eyes can also be 50-50 when you look at balance. You know what I'm saying? If you take care of all this financially, no household worries, and then she's taking care of all the household duties, which are very much different, then it becomes 50-50 because there are some things that you don't have to worry about, and there are things that she doesn't have to worry about. So,
So this 50-50 spread to everything, like, okay, like rent and stuff, that's a big payment, right? So
yep,
probably you can't pay $1,900 a month without it filling it because we ain't no millionaires, right?
right.
Cool. But now we splitting bills 50-50. So now when we go out on dates and we go on to dinner and shit like that, are we also 50-50 in that? Like sometimes you pay, sometimes I pay?
Listen, yes, and it's not a mandate for me, but you know what's crazy? It's funny that you shake your head like that.
Yeah.
Didn't you just finish doing this little thing for
That was for a birthday.
huh?
That was for a
But
birthday.
it doesn't
Whoa, 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 whoa,
but
whoa. Let
but
me
why
stop you
should
right
it matter? But why should it
because it
matter?
does. Whoa,
So
why would
I'm gonna say
why
it
would I
again.
expect somebody to pay for shit on their birthday?
Isn't everything situational? I literally just said this.
This is
That's
not a date. This is not a date. This is a gift. A gift and a date is different.
So you never be like I got it on the date.
No, and the one time I decided to do it, I got looked at sideways like, why? Because they know I don't do that. I'm not paying for it for what? I will do like if I was in like a super long relationship or something like that and everything is cool, I would, but I expect you to pay most of the time unless I decide otherwise situationally, right?
That's what we talking about. Y'all
thank
in a
you.
relationship, he's paying the
But
bills,
I'm
and when
talking
you
it would
go
be a
out, you
once in a
expect him to.
blue. It would be a once in
So
a blue thing. If we're playing bills 50-50 and whatnot, everything we're splitting down the fucking middle. I'm not taking us on a date. On our regular dates, we're going to the movies, unless I got a coupon or something, plan that shit. Buy the tickets and whatnot. I need some type of benefit for
Okay,
you. And for
so
me, wait,
my
for
fault.
me,
Go
I
ahead.
want my man, I need to be able to look at him as being able to do things above what I can just do. And I don't know how that makes me look or how that feels, but that's what I want. I don't want a man who is going to allow me to pay for our dates. I want a man, the reason why we split 50-50 is until I get to the point where we don't have to because I got this, babe. That's the kind of nigga that I want to deal with.
Right. And what I'm
This ain't a nigga that's courting you. This is a nigga that's
I'm aware.
with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
again, like I said, it's situational. And even everything that you just explained created different situations. Because like you said, no, I'm not. But then you turned into, well, if we've been together for a minute or if I got
Yeah, and
coupons and
if
all
I decide,
huh? Right. And again, if you decide. So it can't be no across the board where there are different situations where you would say yes. That's my
because
point.
you're misunderstanding me. What I mean is, when we go out, let's say we plan to go on this date
Yep.
on Friday.
Yep.
In your mind, you know you're paying.
Yep.
That's the way it goes. And if we out and I'm just like, oh my God, he just looks so cute in his fucking hat today. Let me buy him dinner. That's the type of thing. But I'm talking about in general, you're never gonna assume that I'm ever gonna pay for
No, no,
this
no, no.
date.
That's the. But again, that's different. But again, just like I said, it's situational. If we're just going out, if we're just going out, then yeah, I'm 9 times out of 10 I'm going to pay. I'm going to pay. But if I come home from either a long day or whatever it is, and you say, "Come on, baby, I'm gonna take you out to dinner. Come on, I'm gonna take you out to a movie." Again, it's a different situation, it's different circumstances. So that's what I'm saying. You can't say no across. Rephrase that. I don't think you're able to say no across the board when different situations call for different circumstances.
I don't know. I say, oh, let's go to the movies. I still expect you to pay.
And what if before y'all go, he'd be like, I ain't even got it.
Right.
Tell
Are
me
you
that
still
before
gonna
we get
go?
to the window. We'll go another time. Like, because what you going to the movies for?
Go
Because
another
Nigga,
time.
nigga, before the window, nigga, I'm telling you before I get out the bed. What the fuck? I ain't got it.
No, if you say let's go to the movies, he'd be like, I ain't even got it. You gonna tell him let's go another time?
what's the problem?
Why you don't pay? Why you be
Why
like,
you
no, I
can't pay if
got
you want to go to the movies?
I'm not doing it. And that's just that.
it?
All right.
Hell
I'm not
no.
Hey,
doing it.
yo,
I'm
there,
not doing
there.
it.
She
What
said
are
what she
you
said.
here for?
She said what she said.
I said what I said, and that's what I'm saying. Like, when it comes to money and whatnot, like, if I'm splitting things 50-50, right? Okay, I'm willing to do that. The economy fucking sucks. Sure, we're doing things 50-50. Everything can't be 50-50. I need to have a benefit to you. What do y'all feel about giving money to your people, to your woman? Babe, I need to get my feet and my nails done. Oh, I'm going on this trip. Can you give me $150? I'm doing this thing. Can I get some money for this? I'm going to get my car fixed. It's $700. Can I have three? What do y'all feel about shit like that?
It's no problem. If I got it, she can have it. Just like it should be the same with you. If you want to go to the movies and I ain't got it, you should be able to pay for it. We
You're
together.
the
This is a
man.
team.
Right.
You're the man. I
Huh?
want the man to lead in certain
But
areas.
at this point in time, I just paid a few things. The what's the name got fucked up. I just paid for that. I'm waiting. I'm fucked up right now.
That's cool because we're
So
gonna have a conversation on financial literacy on one of these episodes. But
all right, but all right.
Oh
So you trying
shit.
to say you never gonna be fucked up?
I'm not saying you can never be fucked up. But
Oh
if it's to the point we fucked up, we don't need to be going to the movies. Let's just stay in and
damn! You
watch a
can't
movie.
pay for it if he fucked
Nope.
up.
Yeah, like I said, bro. She said what she said. She said what she said, bro. She said what she said.
Yeah.
In
Come on,
general,
I want to go to the movies. All
I'm
right, got
not
it.
paying
I
for
guess
it.
we can go another time. What the fuck? You want to go to the movies?
God
I'm
damn.
willing to go to the movies. You can't pay for the movies. It could be those once in a blue.
I said what I said.
Right. You said what you said.
I just because, like, if you want to, I just don't understand. Let's, like, there's like invisible labor, right? Because there are things that women do, and specifically women, since we're talking about like gender roles and shit, that don't even get accounted for when it comes to credit for 50-50. And I don't even just mean like, oh, women are always cooking and shit like that. Like, I was talking to
Tell us
somebody.
something. Tell us something.
I'm about
Because
to. I was talking to someone the other day, and she was telling me how her man ain't been to the doctor one time since they've been together 8 or 9 years, right? And I'm like, oh shit, I had that same situation. Would you shut the fuck up and let me finish?
mm-hmm.
Because, and the thing is, a lot of adult men don't do the things to themselves like their moms used to do to them. So if your mom was always making your doctor's appointments and whatnot, you're not going for regular checkups. And a lot of guys only go because their wives are making these appointments for them. That's called an invisible labor, because we don't get no credit for doing shit like that, and yet it's constantly being done. Things like replenishing shit in the house that you don't even realize was low. We never ran out of toilet paper, and you never think about it because we're never out of toilet paper. But she's taking those extra trips to the store to do that. And yes, you have to do it on your own when you're living on your own, but it's not something that you think about unless it's empty, unless it needs to be refilled. There are lots of things that comes from invisible labor that there is no credit for, right? And then we're not even, and then when you throw in kids, we do more in that area just naturally, 90% of the time, right? Why am I doing all of that extra shit, splitting 50-50 with you because now we're already out of balance and paying for our dates? And paying for our dates? Nah, I'm
I
good.
thought you was gonna say it one more time. I was looking for number three.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's just not happening. It's like I need to have a benefit of you being in my life. And I don't care how tacky that is to say. It's not a gold dinger thing or nothing like that. But if you're only here to half shit, I got it. I got it. I can absolutely do this without you. I need you to bring me something more. It's not always about being in balance. Sometimes the scale needs to tip. Sometimes it
Right.
does.
So
And then I really got it.
why was you so surprised when I said I'm not paying everything for a female, living with a female?
Because you're a man. And I feel like men have
So where's the benefit for the man?
the benefit for the man is that the woman enhances a lot of shit. Did you not just hear that?
What the
If the natural role of the man is to provide, is AKA equals money, right? And then the natural role for the woman is to enhance and nurture. You're going to get whatever that is that she gives, no matter what. And the benefit doesn't look like what the woman will receive from the guy, because we're not meant to give and get the same things from each other.
Like, but listen, what you saying though? You saying a guy coming into your life, if it's no benefit to you, what are you there for, right? So if I'm doing all this without a girl, and then a girl comes into my life, and I have to do all this that I'm doing plus do for her, and like she expect to do nothing. She shouldn't pay the bills. Because what you say she do, cook or whatever.
I said she enhances and nurtures, but when you say do all of this, what do you mean by you're doing all of this before she comes in? Like, what is that you're doing that you would expect her to pick up or contribute to besides paying the bills?
The same shit that you're doing
No,
by
be
yourself. Everything
specific.
that you have to do for your human self, that you're doing for your human self. Everything that you have to do for your human self. I got to do this for my human self and you now.
What is it as a man you want a woman to come into your life that you already do and help lighten? What load is it that you'd want her to contribute
But
to?
you answering my question with a question because
Because
I'm
I don't
asking you.
understand what you're asking, so I want to be
All
specific
right, I'm
because
asking you.
I
What
think
is
I'm
the
taking it in the
difference?
way you don't mean.
All right, listen. I'm asking you. What is the difference when you say these words? If you not, if you come into my house and you're not beneficial to add into my life, what is the difference when we say that? When I say that, if you're not adding to it because you expect me to do all this for you that I was just doing for myself, like you said you was doing for yourself, what is the difference there?
The difference is in what it is that you're referring to. Like, I'm not going to let a man come into my life and only, like, now we're splitting my bills in half, right? And then I'm also still splitting shit in half. Like, when we're going on dates, like I said, I'm doing things that are, it's considered invisible labor. I expect a man to take certain burdens off of me while I'm also taking certain burdens off of him. And I know, like, those things that men generally, when men think of women, they think about the things that women offer to them, which is usually some sort of service, which is why a lot of men take wives that wasn't the love of their life. They end up being with somebody because it's not about being alone. It's not about companionship so much as what a woman naturally brings. A naturally nurturing nature, it guarantees that you're going to have a household to go to. That household is going to have comforts. The kids are going to be taken care of even on those days when the man doesn't feel like doing it. The fridge is going to be full, or there's going to be food on the table. They're going to have all the amenities that they need. The bills are going to be paid because we usually balance checkbooks. When it comes to planning the vacations, we're doing that. When it comes to scheduling stuff for the kids, taking care of stuff that's maybe not even directly you, but like your mama's old and she's sick and I went to bring her medicine today because you was at work. That's the type of stuff that a woman is usually bringing innately. And that doesn't cost $1, right? None of that stuff was necessarily $1 value. Men do not come with that naturally most of the time. So when you come into my life, you need to bring something much more than just the 50% that you're bringing of our bills, because I was doing that at 100% too. So I'm splitting 50% of the bills with you and I bring in all that shit that I just listed, what is it that you want from a woman coming into your life that she needs to provide in order for you to be like, oh, it's worth it to have her there? Because that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm asking you. You asked, I answered.
And now you answer and ask me what I want from a woman.
Because you're saying if she's coming into your life and she's like, okay, I don't understand what the
Like, bruh,
problem is.
because you already asked me what I want from a woman.
Because you're saying when she comes into my life, she's not making things easier to me. What things do you value that she needs to make easier? And how am I coming into your life to lighten your load? And I don't know what the load is.
Whatever I have to go through in life, because once I go through something in life, in your perspective, once life smacked the shit out of me, in your perspective, we ain't gonna go out to eat. We ain't going to the movies because you ain't paying for that shit. But while I'm providing for all this, while I'm doing for all this, while we together, because you do X, Y, and Z, your natural woman thing, that's okay because I'm paying, I'm doing all this, blah blah blah. But once life smack me in the head and I say, babe, I ain't even got it right now. Well, we're gonna have to wait till you have it until we go to the movies. That's what you're saying. And I'm saying, listen, that's what you're saying. And I'm saying I want somebody that is going to be balanced to where if I was to get smacked by life and we need to go out, they're still going to be there. Like it's still going to be, I do for you, you do for me. Just in case I fucked up, you good. If you fuck up, I'm good. Like we going to balance each other just in case shit happen. It's not going to be no. So when you ask me like what I want in a girl, I want the same shit that she want. I just want to basically make sure we good together so we can be good together. Like whatever you was doing over there before you met me and you was good, and whatever I was doing before I met you and I was good, let's put our shit together. Don't just rely on me to pay for all the dates because when I'm not good and you don't want to go on a date because I can't pay for it is insane to me.
There is a different scenario than if we're together and something bad happens and now I got to pick up the slack in this very committed relationship than if we're dating and it's a regular circumstance. It's one thing if you fucked up and you lose your job and now I got to pick up the slack. It's another thing for that to just be your regular circumstance. I'm not doing that, right? So I feel like with you not being able to say at least 2 to 3 things that you want this woman to be able to lighten, I think you probably don't have it worked out in your head as much as
Bro, the
what it
main
is
thing
that
I
you
said
want.
I want, bro, the main thing I said I want is all I is basically the main thing I need to say is one thing. It's one thing. I want you to be there for I want the woman to be there for me like I'm gonna be there for her.
Yeah,
That's
and
it.
that's like so vague. That's my point. It's like, where's the specifics? Like, do you have nothing? Like, if you tell me if I meet you, I just want you to be there for me, like I'm be there for you. What does that mean? What does that look like? But that's what I'm saying. Like, I get what you're saying, but you're also
It
not
looks
saying enough to make
exactly
a
like what I'm
determination.
saying. It's like exactly what it is. It's word for word. If I know that you gonna have me, if I ain't have this, I got you. But if I, you know what I mean, if I don't feel that you got me, why the fuck should I have you?
Okay. So let me just next
So, okay.
because we're beating a dead horse at this point in time and we're getting absolutely nowhere.
from the
We
head
we
from
literally
the
want
head
the
rub
same
to the
thing.
head
That's what I'm trying to
scratch.
tell you, bro.
You
But you
just
feel like we shouldn't want the same thing because
No, you just aren't really saying exactly what I want somebody who's going to be there for me like I'm going to be there for them. Right. And what does that look like? Because somebody who want I just said we put it
no,
together.
I'm saying you want somebody that's beneficial to your life, add to your life, right?
And I've literally listed what that means and you have
Yeah.
not. So I can't make
I
it I don't know what you're
Bro,
saying
I
because you're
just said
not
it.
saying anything.
When life hit me, I just need somebody that's gonna hold me down when I'm falling back. Like you want me to put the dots with the is that's it. That's all I need. Like even if it's not even financial, just be there for me when life start lifing.
So do you guys as men feel like you need your woman to need you in some way?
Yes, you know why? Because it's gonna be women like you. Because if you don't need me, what am I here for?
How do you
In
want?
some way, you better need me. In some way, you better need me. Because if you don't need me, in some way, what the fuck am I good for?
I want a woman to need me. Now I need a woman to need me.
All right, tomatoes, tomatoes.
It's not.
It's a
No,
thing.
it's not the same thing. That's just it. It's not the same thing. When you need somebody to need you, it becomes a feeling for them to gotta have you in their life, where you want to be in their life and they want you in their life. Like I want somebody to need me. Like I want somebody to want me a part of their life, a part of their decisions, a part of their movements, a part of how they move.
So independent women are a turnoff because they got it
Nope,
and
I
they
didn't
don't
say that.
need you. They just like having you there. I'm asking.
Oh, no, no, not at all. Independent women are not a turn off. An independent woman also has wants and needs. So you can be as independent as you want. Independence is in certain areas. Independent is overall. No independent woman doesn't need anybody. That's it, right? Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So that call fuck up.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. No independent doesn't want anybody. Doesn't need anybody. Yeah.
Does it not?
Huh?
It's a double. You have to use a double negative.
Right,
So
right. So that it makes sense. No independent woman doesn't want anybody. So that means an independent is going to want somebody. Yes.
so I don't know. I feel like y'all. I feel like it's different concepts. You know what I mean? Like I want to be needed, but I want everything to be equal. And I mean, I guess I could see how that could work. I don't know. Like I feel like
But I mean, it depends on the aspect of the relationship, Mel. It depends on the aspect of the relationship. Like while y'all was talking, I was actually listening, jotting down some stuff. Um, you know, you sat there and spoke of 50-50, and when man talking about, getting beat in the head, and one of your initial comments was, I want somebody who is going to be able to take a burden off of me. Um, you were paying $1,200, $1,300 in rent. I now move in. You're paying $300 or $400 in rent. Is that no longer a burden? Does it
but
become
it's a
some?
burden it's a burden I can bear, right? It's not a burden, it's just a fact of life. You understand what I'm saying? Like a burden is like I have to pay for somewhere to live. That's a
Mhm.
non-negotiable.
Right.
But I don't want to have to
I mean,
mow
I
the
use, I
lawn.
mean, I use rent. I apologize. I use rent as a situation because just like you said, typically men refer things back to money. But again, I agree. Mowing the lawn, I agree. Um, you know, as funny as I thought it was, but not really. The trash. Again, compromising on cooking, compromising on cleanliness. You know what I'm saying? That should be a okay. Well, you're off today. I got it. Well, you know what? I'm off today. I got it. Type situation.
Yeah, I
Do you want
mean,
somebody to need you? Do you want your man to need you or want you?
no, I only want to be wanted. I only want to be wanted because I only will want somebody. And I say that in a way because I am that independent woman. And then, I don't need nobody. No, but on a serious note, like I only want to be wanted because it's a different type of thing. Someone who needs you, I feel like what you go through with that person is different than someone who wants you. Someone who wants you, that's intentional, right? And that means you know that every step that you're doing and giving, it's with a purpose to consider you, to have you happy and elevated in our relationship, right? And that's the same thing I want. I don't want a man to need me, especially. I love that, I don't want, if I leave your life, now something has fallen apart. You are not being the man that you need to be because I'm not there lets me know that you wasn't enough of the man that I would have needed you to be because you should be whole without me. I should add to what's there, shine a light on it, not be a missing piece in that way. And I'm not going to need anybody like that too. Like my heart is going to hurt if we break up and whatnot. But just because you left, shit didn't break down over here. I didn't lose out on my car. I didn't move out of my house. I didn't, manage to have to close down my business or now I'm limited in the things that I can and cannot do because your absence was needed to maintain what I got going on. That's never going to be a thing. And I don't want that to be true for my guy with me. You understand what I'm saying? It's like now we're together and it seems like a obligation because I need you to be there. I cannot do this without you, without taking great consequence and strife and struggle. That's not a healthy relationship. It's not a healthy dynamic. Yeah, it sucks that now I'm gonna have to, that 50% you was putting in, now it's all on me. So now I got 100 of it. It sucks, but it's not something I can't maintain, even if I prefer not to. That's my view on it.
Can we agree that people have different needs?
I mean, that's pretty much a given. I don't understand.
I mean,
Everyone has
I
different
mean,
needs.
right. So, again, that topic sounded like it was responded in the aspect of finances. It doesn't always have to be that. You know what I'm
Yeah, but
saying?
I already said like emotionally, my heart would be hurting. But other than that, like if I need, I'm not going to need you emotionally, and I'm not going to need you tangibly either. And I don't know another way that you could need somebody. So if you do, let me know.
Touche, touche.
Hmm.
Man, fuck yeah.
Why? You need somebody or you want to be needed?
I want it. Yeah, I want to be needed, and I want to need somebody.
In
I
what
want
way? Emotionally or tangibly?
emotionally,
Oh,
emotionally,
I believe that.
You ain't the
emotionally.
only one.
Cause what when I want people that shit, I don't give a fuck about your ass when I want you.
Yeah.
I could want you for a certain amount of time, and I don't want your ass no more. Just like that. Yeah, I wanted you then. I need you. I need you. I need you bad as a heartbeat. I
All right, so
need
let's
you.
get
Oh,
ready to close this up. I just want to ask one last question. So in light of the going back to the more of traditional gender roles type of scenario, does a woman who's like in her kind of masculinity, and please note my little quotations, is that a bit of a turnoff? Because I guess those women don't typically need you or won't call you when you feel like you should be called for the man shit. Like, does a woman who's living in her masculinity turn you off, or is not someone you'd want to align your life with?
Example, like somebody that's like outside changing the brakes on the car. Like, like
I mean, it could,
what?
it could be that. It could be that, or it could be like, um, she's not coming to you for like advice and the way that stereotypically women look to men for answers for problems. It could be any of those type of, she doesn't want to have kids, and that's really viewed as not very feminine at all. You know she's not constantly doing like girly things and like calling you,
yeah,
consulting you, like masculinity.
yeah. That's yeah. I kind of feel like yeah, that could, for me, I could view that as like yeah, like not like L, but like I don't know. I don't see me being with somebody like wanting to be with somebody for a long period of time if I feel like they don't come to me about stuff like at least my opinion. You ain't even gotta take my advice, like just to get my opinion about it. You know what I mean? If you just like we together and you just doing shit on your own, not saying you can't, but if we been together and you just doing shit on your own, the next thing you know, like you just tell me like, yeah, I did this, blah blah blah. Like, damn, why you ask me if we should do that? Or why you ask me like what I think about that? Blah 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 blah. Like, I don't think I could be with somebody like that because
Hmm. Yeah. Like I kind of feel that way when it comes to the idea of like feminine men. Now it's like, oh, sexuality, gender is all on the spectrum, whatever. I don't want no man who got more feelings than me. Like I do not, like, you cannot be, I dated somebody, oh my God, in high school, and you felt something about everything. When I tell you, I used to see this motherfucker every day. We used to hang out every fucking day. And then one day my homegirl came over and she needed me to ride somewhere with her for like an hour. And this nigga, oh, I thought we was gonna hang out, blah, 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 blah. Like, nigga, you was just here yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. Like, give me some space. But every time you feel something, I just feel this, I just feel that. And it's like you feel too much. And I associate that with a man being in his very feminine energy. And it's like, I can't do it. I like me, I need me as somebody who is got the kind of masculine energy where you're not matching mine. I come in here with the woman's mentality and the female energy and the emotional, whatever you want to call it. You cannot bring that. You
So
cannot
it's
bring
like, is he like? So I don't want to say like more than 50% don't give a fuck
what you mean.
kind of attitude. Like he don't give a fuck kind of attitude.
You
He
don't
got
gotta
a
be
kind.
nonchalant to be to not be feminine.
Nah,
You
when you say like he was like, oh, I want to see you, like nigga, I just seen you. If he be like, I don't give a fuck, like you seem like he ain't trying to see you. You like that?
you said, do I like that?
Yeah. If he like
No,
not, if
that's
he,
nonchalant. I don't want somebody to
uh,
not want me. You can absolutely give me the affection and attention I want while not appearing as very emotional and feminine in the way that you handle things. That's not what I'm saying. Absolutely. If you don't want to see me when I don't want to be disrespected or disregarded. And I think that's a crazy idea to think about what a non-feminine man looks like. That's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't. I want you to be able to have a different perspective than I do as a man because I'm a woman and I'll never experience that. I want you to be able to understand, like, don't be in the middle of these women's argument. Let some woman come to you and now you going back and forth like you the third bitch in the scenario. Like, excuse me, handle the shit like a man, you know? Like it's wild. So I personally wouldn't want that at all. Sincere.
Sarah, would you want a masculine woman?
Uh, um, I've I've dealt with a couple. I've dealt with a couple, and it was a struggle in the very beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Why?
It, because this is the independent woman, masculine, I'm good, I got it type of stage, and they don't know what it's like to embrace that soft girl era. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what it's like for a man to court. They don't know what it's, well, I mean, I'm gonna say they don't know what it's like. It's been so long, you know what I'm saying, where they've gotten to a stage. Um, Court, date, oh hey, listen, I'll take care of it. Babe, do you want me to cook? Hey, do you like, you know what I'm saying? There's just certain aspects where they're so used to I got it, I got it, I got it. And then for it to be done for them, you know what I'm saying? They're not, and that's usually the reason. It's, well, my listen, I'm still embracing my soft girl era. So,
So it's not your type. Them type of
what, masculine women? To keep them that way?
yeah.
No, no, you can't stay that way. That's not a thing. Yeah, no, yeah, because look, just like you always say, then what I'm around for? What you got me here for? You sound like you got it. You
Yeah,
good, you got
I
it.
don't think I could date a masculine
Yeah.
girl. Like I could. No, I mean, I feel like I could do it, but after a while, like I start to get tired of your ass.
Yeah, because you need to be needed, and she got it. She can do everything you can do. I can do anything you can do better.
She got to be needed too. We both got to be needed.
So you like a clingy ass needed.
Ah,
God. All right. Well, that was our episode for the day. Thank you
ah.
for joining us. You know how we coming to y'all from the group chat.
Ooh,
To the
to the
God
pod.
damn it. To
podcast.
the podcast. Mm. Be sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe. You can find us on Instagram at Related Conversations Podcast. You can find us on TikTok and YouTube at Related Conversations. And we're on Twitter at Related Convos. We post most Fridays, and subscribe so that you never miss an episode. Thank you.